Okay, y'all, I was on my way up to check out this new nail salon that I heard was over there by the Walmart, by the Rainbow store. And it's like, well, let me stop and see what the traffic is looking like over here since I was up here the other day. And so when I did, I bumped into this lady. And let me just say, ma'am, if you see this video, I apologize. I was just passionate and a little tongue-tied and a little nervous too. So this was trying to stop you from going into the nail salon. I feel like I might have just ambushed you, so I'm sorry to you, lady. But this is what happened, y'all. Is anybody in the nail shop? Is it? No. Is the customers in there? How many? About 3? That's 3 too many. We on the Asian business boycott. That means food and everything. Yeah, because when they killed that boy Cyrus, that little 14-year-old black boy, yeah, the Asians came out and started talking junk about how we need them in our community and said, who you gonna buy the liquor from? Oh no, man, we going to Asian boycott, man, don't go in there. We boycotting Asian businesses. We got a black nail supplier right across the street. Walk in is welcome. We're not supporting them no more, sister. I'm trying to tell you. You do what you. No, I'm just trying to inform you. I'm not trying to tell you. I'm trying to inform you. There really is a Asian boycott going on in the black community. A lot of people aren't on social media, which is where it originated, because that's where the insult started. There was an Asian little boy. There was a black little boy that got shot. His name was Cyrus. He was 14 years old, and he went inside of an Asian convenience store. They go, he stole a bottle of water, and he shot him, and he got it. So the conviction, he got away with it. The trial was last week. After that, a lot of people in the Asian community that own businesses came out and started talking about how we don't need them. If we boycott them, that it's not going to mean anything to them because we need them. They're so embedded in our community. Where you going to get your liquor from? Where you going to get your nails done? Where you going to get your eyelashes? Where you going to buy your weave hair at? This is what it says. So we are supporting intentionally black-owned businesses. Now, if you would let me allow, I'm sorry, I'm just passionate. I'm trying to just get your attention. Right across the street, the golden nail, the golden nail, it's a black-owned walk-in salon across the street. And it's called the Gold Luxury Nail Bar. And it's right next door to the Planet Fitness. The owner is KK, and they do beautiful service. It's another black-owned hair store that's right there in Fairburn, and it's another one over there in, it's a lot of them in Jonesboro. You just have to look intentionally. That's all I'm trying to say. Just be intentional because we can't keep spending our money with them. We're trying to rebuild our own wealth and invest in ourselves right now. And so I'm just trying to spread the word. I just have to be riding past. Okay, so I just want to, it's called the Luxury Nail Bar. No, we have to listen. That man said something horrible. He said we don't need them. He said we need them. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not listening. For years we've been going through this, okay? For years, they know. The black community is what feeds them, clothes them, gives them an opportunity to drive these nice cars and stuff. Nobody was listening. We wasn't even saying nothing about it. Did y'all kill our children? No, it was in South Carolina. Happened 2 years ago. Just be aware, okay? All right. Now, before I got interrupted, my goal was to come over here because I know they did not open a daggone Asian nail salon in the midst of a black business burst. Here we go. They did open it. They outside. Let me see. Ain't nobody in there. Ooh, ain't nobody in there. It's nice though. Ain't nobody in there. All that money they spent for me.
This is why when y'all say black people can't come together, I just shut my mouth because y'all are showing out on this Asian boycott. Saturday, June the 6th, empty. Nail salons, empty. Y'all are showing out. Now, if you recall, he's the one that told us that we couldn't survive without any Asian-owned, stores in our community, and told us if we did a boycott, he would take away the laundry mats, right? They would not have laundry mats for us as if we don't own washers and dryers in 2026. Now, some of you actually seem to be surprised at the Asian community, some of them anyway, that are really thinking that we're ignorant and too ignorant to have our own. Guys, don't forget about 2023. Do y'all remember in 2023 when they ended affirmative action? And that was in part to the Asian community. They let themselves be pushed to end affirmative action against the blacks. And people always say against the blacks as if we're the only community and we're the #1 community to benefit from affirmative action. We weren't, but that's a discussion for another day. So in case you didn't know, the Asian American Coalition for Education, along with 60 other Asian American groups, got together and filed several civil rights law complaints against Harvard, okay? And they supported students for fair admissions. Now, if Students for Fair Admissions sound familiar, that's because they are the ones who filed these lawsuits that went to the Supreme Court. President and fellows of Harvard College and also against University of North Carolina, they combined the two. They said that they felt it was so unjust they were expected to perform higher to get into Ivy League colleges, and that's not the case for everyone, i.e. Black people. They decided to do it in groups so that no one could pick out a specific Asian American to target. But the fact that there were 60 different groups along with the Asian American Coalition for Education speaks volumes. Now, once affirmative action ended, do you think there was a big surge of acceptance into Ivy League colleges for Asian Americans? Like Poochie Pies. According to the Manhattan Institute, there was a 2% increase across the board of Asian Americans being accepted into Ivy League schools. However, there was a decline in Blacks and Hispanic enrollment. Like other communities, Asian communities seem to forget that they benefit from all the hard work that the Black community has done, and that's okay if you forget. We don't have to remind you because, baby, we just keep doing what we do, which is us. So I'm proud of all you guys standing in solidarity because they're basically calling us stupid as hell, and we're not. Leave me a comment. Bye, y'all. Bye.
Black people decided to boycott Asian business. Those business who are in Black neighborhood, but they don't really support Black people. They really want, Black people's money, but they don't really support them. When Black people decided to boycott this business, many people were saying, oh, it is not going to work. Many people were saying, no. Black people cannot be able to do that. It's just saying they will not put in action. They even give examples. But then we are seeing videos on the internet, showing those nail salon and people just, showing how there is no Black person there. Those nail salon which used to be like clouded, there is no one there. This is crazy. And some people are saying, oh, Black women, where are they going to do their nails? So that was the question they were asking themselves. Now, seeing this video, man, Black people are doing it. All right, folks, I've got more clips for you. Let's get into it. I'll come back with more commentary. Please tell me what you think about this.
All I'm saying is that if you are Asian, before you should even be asking the question about who gets to decide who gets to boycott Asian-owned businesses, we need to be having the conversations in our own spaces about whether or not anti-Black racism needs to be addressed and have those uncomfortable conversations within our communities. Because I have been doing this for years, right? Have you been doing that? Before you decided to come online and post a video being like, oh, Black Americans are such hypocrites, which they are not. They have a right. Like, they have an absolute right because we do have rampant anti-Black racism. And before we are willing, we need to be willing to take accountability for that before we get to decide whether or not anybody should be boycotted. Also, it's not even our decision who gets to boycott. Our role, right? And everybody has different roles under systemic oppression, and something happens, is what can I do in solidarity instead of looking at this situation as an us versus them problem? If you're still looking at it from the lens of an us versus them problem, then you are on Rick Chow's side. And I know that people can say oh, well, you know what, I have such a diverse spectrum of ideas and I see things differently. But when it comes to systemic oppression in a world that is made to be black and white, then if you are going to look at this boycotting situation as, oh, you shouldn't boycott us, why should we have to pay for the sins of this one guy? That's not the systemic playbook, right? When one person does harm, or even if it's a few people doing harm, right? If you think about slavery in the South, even if it was just a few people, a few families running the whole thing, okay? The systemic issue is still the fact that everybody inherited these core belief systems about certain marginalized groups of people, and we are still perpetuating these ideas, right? Like, the issue is that our ideologies are still there, right? And until we're able to address that, why are we even thinking immediately like, oh, actually, I'm going to argue about boycotting, when you should be looking at yourself in a mirror and being like, hey, I realize that I'm contributing, my community is contributing. How have I seen anti-Black racism manifest in Asian spaces? Like, why are these conversations so difficult to have? I don't know. But they need to be had, right? They exist. They exist. People are doing it, some people are not. But when it comes to the question of solidarity, are you for or against? And if you are for, then have the conversations first before you decide who gets to boycott if you are an Asian person.
It is not racist to boycott Asian businesses when so many Asians are more outraged and vocal about boycotts than an unjust verdict about Cyrus Carmack Belton due to racial profiling. And that says a lot about where people's priorities are at. When the verdict was announced, many people, including myself, were grieving and expressing how disappointed we were. Only a few Asians spoke up, 10 max. Instead of holding space for that grief, many Black people were met with anti-Black comments such as dehumanizing Cyrus by calling him a thug or a monkey, bringing up Stop Asian hate crimes to justify the verdict despite having no connection whatsoever, and perpetuating racist stereotypes of Black people. So if you combine the fact that many people feel justice was not served, Rick Chow is a free man, not enough Asians were speaking up about this verdict, and Black people were receiving an immense amount of anti-Black comments while simply grieving this tragedy, what did you expect the reaction to be? I am pissed off that so many of you lack empathy and humanity, to the point your response is anti-Black rhetoric and ignorance instead of accountability. And our community doesn't consistently call out anti-Blackness. When we don't make our spaces safe for Black people, and when we continue to dogpile Black people while expecting their support whenever it's convenient for us, why are you shocked that Black people are frustrated with our community? A lot of you are more concerned about Black dollars than Black lives, more concerned about businesses than Black children who are harmed, lose their lives, and are failed by the very systems that are supposed to protect them. Boycotting Asian businesses is a consequence of anti-Blackness. It is up to us as a community to confront it instead of pretending it doesn't exist. This is exactly why the Asian community needs to have more conversations about unpacking anti-Blackness and understanding why racial profiling another person of color, especially from the Black community, is dangerous. Because when someone walks into your establishment, your first thought should not be racist stereotypes attached to the color of their skin. Your first thought should be that they are a customer and a human being. And if we can't even do that much, then we shouldn't be surprised when people keep calling out anti-Blackness within our community. So I don't give a rat's ass what any of you have called me these past few months. Self-hating, anti-Asian, pandering to the Black community. I really don't give a fuck. My priorities will always be with humanity, accountability, and justice. If you truly care about solidarity between our communities, you will spend less time complaining about boycott and more time confronting the anti-Blackness. Help create this situation in the first place.
This crackerjack right here, he was talking to y'all. He wasn't talking to me.
He wasn't talking to me either. When you need to wash your clothes, Black owned. When you need to wipe your ass, Black owned. When you need to throw your shit away, Black owned. This is Freedom Paper Company. You need a purse, Black owned. You need some candles, Black owned. Black owned. Refresh your scalp oil, Black owned. Black owned. Body oil, Black owned. Jewelry, Black owned. Room spray, Black owned. Wash your ass again, Black owned. Body butter, Black owned. Deodorant, Black owned. Soap, Black owned. When you want to cook, seasonings, Black owned. Hey, my spiritual sisters, here are my oracle cards. Black owned. Hair moisturizer, Black owned. Conditioner, Black owned. Edge control, Black owned. Bedroom candy, Black owned. Shower net, Black owned. I don't know if this is Black owned, but I bought it from a Black woman. Even my dresses, Black owned. Black owned.
Man, what? Like, this is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't like they hadn't been there that long, but I came up here the other day and stood across the street and got some shots.
This is crazy.
Awesome.
Like, how bold could you
I
be?
know. You would think, man. It's like I didn't even see it. I saw somebody else out here standing up here looking at it. I was walking down the sidewalk up there, and I was like,
It's like premeditated because it's like we just got the verdict from the Cyrus Corvette Hilton. There's no way you could have done that.
And that there, you guys, is the prime reason why we need to stand firm in what it is we're doing when it comes to these Asian businesses that are within our communities. This type of shit right here, they don't care. They don't care. They're only in an uproar right now is because they see that their shit is about to blow up. They see the money coming out of their community left and right. They can see it happening. They know that they are too dependent on the black dollar for their businesses to thrive, for their businesses to sustain. That's why they're so outraged with knowing that we are doing a ban of their businesses. Because it's not even a boycott. We're not even doing boycott no more. So let's take boycott out of our vocabulary right now. This is a ban. And a ban means we will be no longer engaging with any of their businesses that are within our communities. Any of them. This is the shit right here that tells us they could care less about anything that's going on in society surrounding their community. Because how do we have a business that feels okay to have such a image on the window of their establishment? On the window of their establishment. Like, this shit is bold as fuck. North Carolina, who owns this business? Who owns this business, North Carolina? We need to know who owns this business. Drop it in the comments if you know who is the owner of this business. We need to have a conversation. We need to understand what was your intention with this? Because I don't want to hear no shit about it's a joke. It's a play on a movie. But I think it's a play on Don't Be a Menace to Society, one of the parodies movies by the Wayans brothers. I believe that's where that comes from. Yeah, y'all don't get to play with us like that. None of y'all get to play with us like that. See, y'all gotten too comfortable. And we've allowed y'all to get too comfortable. We've allowed y'all to get too comfortable thinking that y'all can play with us because we put it in our music. We put certain things in our music. The imagery that we depict in movies, etc. Y'all think because y'all can consume it, that y'all can cosplay and act like you about that life. Yeah, y'all, even as a black community, we need to be careful at the type of imagery that we're putting out here. Because then we encounter bullshit like this, and they're going to easily have a way out or a excuse. They're going to be excused. Their apology is going to be riddled with, I had a lapse in judgment. I've consumed this type of, I've supported the black community. I've seen this movie. I've seen that movie. I've purchased the music. I paid to go to concerts. Because we let them in too freely. We let them into our spaces too freely. That this is the type of thanks that we get. A fucking slap in the face. This is wild. This is insane. If you're in North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina to be exact, who owns this business? Drop it in the comments if y'all are familiar with this business from the Greensboro, North Carolina area. And when did that signage go up? When did that imagery go up on that window? Because based off of that video, it's come up recently. And to know what is going on in their neighboring state, right above them in South Carolina, right below them in South Carolina, you knew exactly what you were doing when you put that shit on that window. Drop in the comments, y'all, and let's talk about it, because we need to know who the owner is of this business and when that shit went up in that window. Let's talk about it.
Alright folks, welcome once again. I am a presenter, Fikazo. Thank you so much for reaching at this point of the video. Now, we're talking about black people put in action the boycott they decide to do about Asian business in the neighborhood where those business they don't really support black people. Here, we're talking about how Asians, some Asians reacted towards how black people said that they're going to boycott their business. The reaction we've seen is completely different to reaction people have seen of Asian reacting to what happened, to the incident happened. So they focused more on the boycotting the business. And this business, they are in black people's neighborhood. It's look like these people, they just want black people's money, but they don't want to support them. Yes, they brought claims. They said a lot of things, to black people. So that's when black people decided, let's boycott this business. It's circulated on the internet and Asians have to come out and say, oh, boycott wherever you want. That's what they did. You understand? Now black people are doing it and people are saying, oh, it's not how it is. You're not supposed to do like that. You're not supposed to boycott. But that's what black people have been saying. Telling you that, oh, we are not going to come back in your nail salon. Now, people are not showing up. You've seen the videos. You've seen really the videos. So, this is a lesson to black people. My fellow black people, please, what we can learn from here is being independent. I know black people, they are those one who also have talent of doing nails. They can be nail technician. You can learn that. Those who can take care of, hair. Man, black people can be able to do that. So I wish to see black people who are into business. You understand? We don't want to see such videos we've been seeing this past week with Asians saying, oh, where are you going to do your nails? Where are you going to buy food? Really? Man, black people have food. They can be able to cook the food. You understand? So, this disrespect from some of the people who think that you depend on their business, man, it needs to end. In black people, you are able to do that. Yes, you are able to establish a business. I'm telling you. And you're able to run that business. You have the talent to do whatever the Asian can do. So for you to be independent, it requires black people to work so hard. You understand? So that this will end. This disrespect will end. I'm telling you, it's so sad to see how, people feel like if those shops close, black people are not going to find where to shop. Yes, that's what he said. Black people, you can go support your brothers and sisters who are in business. I know there is, some folks who do nails, who do many, many things. Go and support them. Go and support those folks. So supporting them, it is like building your community. It is like strengthening your community. It is like giving back to your community. Yes. And I believe that's the reason why some of the black folks decided to boycott the businesses. Because they were saying enough is enough. These Asians are just disrespecting us. They're not really respecting us. So it's like these Asians are focusing on the boycott, telling black people it's not how you can do it. Man, this is crazy. This is really crazy. I like the way some Asian are calling, those one and teaching them how things are, teaching them how black people suffered, showing them, what black people have been passing through for many, many years. At least they can understand what black people are talking about. Because I believe they don't understand. If that person didn't pass through that, situation, you cannot really understand the person in that situation. Maybe at least if you learned it, you just get knowledge, you will just know about the history. At least you will just say, oh, I know about the history of these people. I will just respect like that. But these people think black people always cry, they always, complain, but that's not how it is. So they came and established business into black neighborhoods. Black people support them. But for them, they don't want to support black people back. That's how things are. We wish to see these two communities living together. Asians and black people should live together, should support each other. I'm telling you, that's what needed. This tension between the two communities, is not that important. What's more important is the communities to support each other and living in peace, man. That's what people need. Yes, that's what people need. But black people to come at this conclusion, it is like saying enough is enough.
June 12th.
We supported you enough.
2026.
We did our best, but we got nothing. Yes, you always, you don't support us. And for us, we did support you. By the time you came into our neighborhood, we supported you. We came to eat at your restaurant. We came at your nail shop. Yes. Now they're saying enough is enough. So black people have decided. So Asians should understand. I'm telling you, Asians should understand what black people are doing. So black people said enough is enough. So, which is why you should understand. But by the end of the day, we all need to live in peace. We all need to support each other. Yes. But if one side is not doing so, that's what black people decide to do. That's exactly what the black community decided to do. Yeah. So folks, tell me what you think about this. What do you think about what's really happening? Please tell me in the comment section. Let's keep our conversation there. I am representative Fikazo. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.